Nobody judged Origami King correctly. Absolutely no one understood this game. This is Paper Mario Origami King, the most misunderstood and mistreated game I have ever seen in my life on the entire internet. And this is a story that dates back many, many years. This game was doomed to fail. No matter how good it was, this game was set up to fail. It all dates back to this game. Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door is a cult classic, one of the most beloved games ever, one of the best GameCube games ever, and everybody loves it so much, and it became the Paper Mario game that people still love and play today. But it was so good that people won't let it go. People now think that every other Paper Mario game needs to be just like it, and if it's not The Thousand Year Door, they don't want it. They just think it's bad. They just want this again and again and again. No matter how good Paper Mario gets, no matter what it does, if it's not this, if it doesn't do things just like this game did, they just automatically say it's bad without even giving it a chance. See, Thousand Year Door is an RPG. You level up, you upgrade stat points like your health, your FP, your badge points, and it really plays like an RPG. And Origami King is not an RPG. Origami King is an adventure puzzle game. This game has a high emphasis on puzzles. The world has puzzles. Finding toads are puzzles. Finding the blocks are puzzles. The combat itself is a puzzle game. Like each individual fight has a different puzzle that you need to solve. Puzzles is like the big thing of this game. Origami King has a beautiful world to explore. It is so in-depth, rich with the characters, the charisma, the charm. Each world feels alive. Each individual chapter, from chapter 2 in Shogun Studios, the fucking King Ali's castle to the Great Sea, like it is an absolute adventure. Okay, just like Paper Mario always has been, it is a grand adventure with tons of wacky characters, villains, heroes alike. You go on a crazy adventure, just like Thousand Year Door. This game has turn-based combat, but the combat is now about puzzles and solving a giant puzzle in a ring instead of like turn-based combat on a stage like Thousand Year Door. In this game, you don't level up. Instead, you buy upgrades, you find upgrades throughout the world, you buy weapons at a shop, and you upgrade that way. The combat is not about leveling up and dealing a bunch of damage. It's really about using your head and solving a puzzle. Which to me, I actually like the combat in this game better, genuinely, straight up. I love Thousand Year Door, and I actually like the combat in this game, but it has one fatal flaw, and that is super guarding. I'm gonna make a more in-depth video about why I think Thousand Year Door is overrated. If you guys want to watch that, stay tuned. But super guarding really, really ruins the combat in this game. You can just perfectly time the B button and be totally immune to like all damage in the game. And that just kind of really sells the game short, in my opinion, kind of ruins the combat, just trivializes it completely. There is none of that in this game. There is no trivializing jack shit. Yes, you can use coins to have the toads do the puzzle for you, but you have to come across the coins, you have to earn the coins. It's a little bit different. That does trivialize it, but it costs a lot of coins and you have to constantly be getting coins if you're gonna just do that in every single fight. And it doesn't really happen in boss battles because boss battles are just so many turns. You'll go broke and it doesn't just work that way. The big point that I'm trying to make is that Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is an RPG, and the following games went away from the things that this game did, but that doesn't make it bad. The point that I'm trying to make is that Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is an RPG, and then after this game, Nintendo started to make Paper Mario a lot different. But that doesn't make it bad on the surface, or in theory, it doesn't make it bad. But a lot of people just think that since it's not an RPG, it's automatically bad. The second reason why Origami King was set up to fail is that this game exists. Paper Mario Sticker Star was so bad, and everyone hated this game so bad, like so much. Rightfully so, by the way. This game is not very good, that it put a thought into everybody's mind that Paper Mario as a franchise is just cooked. This game introduced so many bad mechanics, had a bad story, had just awful, awful combat, that it just put a seed into people's head that this franchise is just cooked, done for, forgotten, and they just moved on. The game that followed this, Paper Mario Color Splash, didn't help either. It was a lot of the same things, and now I do think Color Splash is way, way better than this, but that seed just stayed there, and they just couldn't get it out. But just because previous entries in a franchise sucked doesn't mean the newest one is bad. They just didn't want to give this game a chance. Paper Mario fans fell off the wagon. They saw Sticker Star, they saw all the changes from Thousand Year Door, and they just gave up on the franchise. They just quit. They just didn't want to give this game a chance. And it's sad. This game deserves your time. It deserves a chance. If you love Paper Mario, give this game a fair chance. And this is what I mean by a fair chance. There is a famous Albert Einstein quote that I think about all the time. And it goes, everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Origami King is the fish that everybody is judging on its ability to climb a tree. Everyone judged Origami King on its ability to be Thousand Year Door instead of judging it on being a great adventure game. That's my point.